Hello everyone, I'm Thanh from Vietnam, and this is my email, also the affiliation. So I hope that we can have some further collaboration after this presentation. It's my honor to be here, and especially for the first time with Bonlip and PAM. And there are five main contents that we'll go through today, and let's jump to the first part, introduction. The background, also the statement problem at this presentation or this research paper. Actually, these days, the research in EAP relates to AI that most focus on the classroom-based GenAI applications, academics, writing, or revision support. Or some papers just so explore the feedback relates to learner text and effectiveness of individual AI tools. And what remain unexplored, the first thing is about there has been less attention to learner independent Gen AI use beyond the formal lessons for the purposes, and how the students self-direct when they use AI extramural environment, and what motivates them to use AI in the extramural environment. So beside most of the study these days, they are found to use single theory approaches in prior research. For example, we have a paper use self-determination theory. We have TAM, this model is so famous in our field. And for Liu and Ma, we have the individual motivational and acceptance perspective. And there are four areas that require integrated explanation. And I think no single theory fully accounts for extramural learning context, learner agency, motivation, AI substance, actual Gen AI supported for learning practices. Therefore, this paper is conducted with these two aims. First thing tries to examine how the English majors use Gen AI tools for their extramural learning, and how can we explore their motivation, shaping their supporting extramural practices with these two research questions. So please take 5 seconds to read the research questions here. Okay, so let's talk about theoretical underpinnings. So if I said most of the study are found to use single or only two theories. In this paper, I propose we can use a combination of three theories here. The first thing relates to self-directed learning. The second thing, extramural, of course. And the third one is AI device use a system AI DUA. And let's talk about each in specific thing. As for self-directed learning, would be coined by Knowles in 1975, the learner autonomy and self-governance in directing one's own learning, and the key dimensions include goal setting, resource selection, self-monitoring, and independent evaluation of progress. And as for extramural English, Professor Sungvist, she proposed that English used outside formal instruction, including voluntary learner-initiated activities and support of authentic language engagement and beyond the classroom. So for the final model proposed by Ma and Huo in 2023, this relates to the AI acceptance, motivational drivers, pattern of sustained use or resistance in technology mediated learning context. So why do I propose we combine the theories? The rationale for this one is that I mentioned that no single theory fully captured Gen AI extramural English learning, and extramural English frame the context, self-directed learning, explain learner agency, and the AI dual accounts for AI adoption. So when we combine them, we can have the center of triangulation, which can provide the holistic understanding of Gen AI, extramural EAP learning, how context, agency, motivation, and critical evaluation interact. Um, so what do I do in this study? As for the methodology, the qualitative study research design is employed that try to explore the English majors AI use in extramural English learning. And yeah, I collect data in a Vietnamese university setting and focus on extramural learning only for the English major undergraduate program. And there were 40 English major they shown in this study, and I have two sources of data. The first thing relates to reflective writings from these 40 students. They submit some written accounts of AI use and share some motivation in the prompts I asked them to write. And after that, after preliminary analyzed data, I choose out 10 students from these 40. They have the meaningful sharing, and I would like to explore in depth. So I have a semi-structured interview with them. And let's take something in specific perspective. As for reflective writing, these reflections describe GenAI use and motivations in extramural EAP learning, and participants they documented the tool selection, frequency, perceived benefits in open-ended format, and for interviews that these 10 interviewees, they give detailed explanations of their tool selection and self-regulation. And I employed inductive content and thematic analysis to analyze data here, and the trustworthiness are ensured by triangulation of theories, also memory checking. After I interviewed them, I sent them the script, the transcript, so they can confirm all of the things they have just shared with me. So let's talk about key findings. This is the first part. I will structure this part into two main one, the release to correspond with the two research questions. And as for research question number one, the two main themes relate to everyday and routine practices. And the second thing is strategic and self-regulated engagement. As for research question two, I divide this one into extrinsic and intrinsic motivations. And it should be noted that intrinsic and extrinsic here appear as data-driven emergent themes, not as for the first standalone theory. So it's just not for all of that. Let's talk about research question one. So how do English majors they use AI for extramural learning? Some of them share that they use AI for the routine grammar monitoring. The student describe grammar checking as daily and almost automatic habit. And I think this is understandable because they're English majors. They can practice by themselves at home every day to ameliorate their English skills, and grammar is one of the points they would like to improve. For example, reflection number 10, the student shared that I use it every day to fix mistake in my practice writings. I mean, it means that they give themselves their writing and then they use AI to check them. Interviewee number one shares that whenever I write something in English, even short paragraph, I paste into AI first, and it's just a part of my routine now. And from here, we can infer that AI become a preventive tool, helping the student avoid repeating errors and maintain accuracy. Another practice can relate to everyday writing assistant. AI was widely used to support paragraph development and organization in academic writing. And at this time, AI function as writing companion. The student consider them as a writing companion, support expression rather than replacing student thinking. It's just companion. Another practice refers to vocabulary expansion through daily exposure. The student, they use AI to learn new words and expressions. And of course, they are English majors. They need to level up their language use every day. And at this time, AI, the learning through repetition and reuse and not one-time correction. They use them over time. And another thing is they use AI to practice speaking at home. They chat with Gemini to simulate the real conversation and improve fluency. Or interviewee number two shared that I don't always have someone to practice English with, so I chat with ChatGPT. It's just like a real conversation and try to respond naturally. And at this time, we can see that AI's role in low pressure speaking practice and can support confidence and fluency as well. So some students also share about micro learning moments outside the class because they believe that AI can support the small informal learning moments that happen outside structured lessons. For example, Interviewee number 7 shares that if I'm reading a sample essay or doing homework at night or don't understand a phrase, I just ask ChatGPT. It's faster than searching online, and I can keep studying without stopping. And at this time, we can see AI enable continuous self-directed learning beyond the classroom. Besides, the student also deliberately use different tools for different skills. And for example, Grammarly helps them with grammar. ChatGPT have organized Elsa speak for pronunciation. And they also use Gemini to practice conversation, ask follow of questions, and they use Poe to compare the answer from different bots. For grammar, refer other apps as well. And we can see is that they use AI strategically. This is like strategic tool orchestration. They combine them rather than single tool reliance. And the student also monitor. So here we move on to the engagement, strategic and self-directed engagement. The student they showed awareness of over-reliance and adjust their behavior. And we can see that they know how to self-regulate and reflect on their learning. AI also was often used as a second step, not a starting point. This they can show the deliberate effort before and after consulting AI. For example, interviewee number 8 shared that I usually write my answer first. After that, I use AI to check or improve it. AI is helpful, but it doesn't think for me. Yes, this can really consistent with the findings show that AI is as a companion. Yeah, they do not use AI first, they use their own thinking first, and this needs to understand and divide what is correct. Even when I use AI, I rewrite things in my own words. I want the final work to reflect my thinking. And at this time, we can see that the student maintain learning agency and reinforce the supportive, not substitute role of AI. Besides, the student also have a good awareness of AI limitation. So you can read here, the student they recognize that AI is not always accurate. For example, in reflection 24, the student share that it needs internet and sometimes gives wrong answer. So I don't fully trust it. Let's move on to there is a question number 2 about motivations. And it means that what drivers behind AI use. So let's talk about extrinsic motivation first. That is for academic performance and assignment demands. Even they use AI in extramural environment. So, however, the English major also care about academic performance. The students they were motivated to use AI to meet formal academic requirement and improve assignment quality. It's so interesting. You can read the sharing from interviewee number 9. I mainly use AI to improve my practice essay. Practice essays, it means that the essays they assign by themselves. And grammar because my real assignments are graded strictly. And the mistake can seriously lower my score. Right. So even they assign themselves the practice essay, but they also use AI to improve and tries to make no grammar point. And like interviewee number 5 share that the grades matter a lot to me. Yeah, that somehow can resonate with the interview number 9. And so I use AI to make sure my self-assigned practice tasks meet expectations and doesn't look careless or weak. And at this time, we can see that the create-oriented motivation focused on performance outcomes. Another extrinsic motivation refers to efficiency, speed, and time pressure. AI was valued for helping a student complete a task quickly under academic constraints. So it saves my time and give instant reply, unlike a teacher or textbook. And they really refers to efficiency-driven use, which shaped by time and workload pressure. One more extrinsic motivation or extrinsic driver comes from the compensation for limited academic support. In reflection 15, the student shared that in the absence of personal tutor, I function as my main source of assistance. And the student interviewee number 7 shared that when my teacher is unavailable, I ask ChatGPT to explain the grammar rules. So this somehow resonates with their friends, right? They do not have the teacher support promptly there, so they use AI. And at this time, AI functioned as a alternative external support system. So how about intrinsic? The first driver from intrinsic aspect come from the curiosity and interest in tech. Some students, they were initially motivated by curiosity. And for example, student interviewee number 3 shared that I wanted to test how accurately ChatGPT could explain grammar rules and support my English learning compared to traditional study materials because they're English major. So somehow they can have a certain level of grammar rules already. So at this time, they just want to test ChatGPT is it really explained correctly or not. And another driver comes from their autonomy and independent learning. In reflection 25, the student remarked that he or she is able to study alone and asks AI anything at any time. Or in reflection number 40, the student shared that he or she AI does not necessity him or her to wait for anyone, so he or she can learn whenever he or she desires. And the final driver from intrinsic aspects is the personalization and level of progress support. Um, in reflection 18, the students share that AI adapts to what he or she asks and give him or her what he or she needs at his or her level. And the interviewee number 4 shared that when I struggled to express my ideas of the topic of technology, ChatGPT offered alternative wording so that is suitable for my level and helped me communicate more effectively. And here, so interesting that some students consider using AI as an enjoyment of playfulness. So you can read the interviewee number 1. It feels like a game because I can experiment with questions, get instant responses, and keep exploring without pressure. So she considers one of the game. And interviewee number 6 really enjoy reading news articles and blogs with AI because it explains phrases and help me follow story without stopping. And at this time, we can see that enjoyment-based motivation enhanced engagement. Okay, that's the end for the key findings. So what are the implications in future research suggestions from me? So as for theoretical implication, this paper somehow can somehow integrate 3 theories and provide a holistic understanding of AI support informal learning. And the findings show that SDL is enriched but challenged by AI. As the student develop new self-monitoring routine but risk over reliance. Extramural learning is expanded by AI tools that enable authentic, interest-driven out-class learning, yet may exacerbate access disparities. And as for the final model, AI DUA would highlight emotional and social factors shaping AI acceptance. By combining the theories, we gain nuanced insight into how and why learners adopt AI for personalized and informal English learning. So as for practical implications, the EAP practitioners, uh, this paper proposed and offered that we should teach critical evaluation over automatic acceptance of GenAI outputs. And we can somehow incorporate AI literacy into our curricular and model effective prompting, verification, revision strategies, and we can revise our learners to attempt tasks independently before consulting AI, even though some students, they share that, okay, AI is my companion, or I think first, I just use AI later on, but we need to guide all of the students to think so. So therefore they can think independently first. We also need to try encourage the students to explain accepting or rejecting AI suggestions. So for example, when they prompt the AI give them the answer, so they accept or they reject, they also know why they do so. For example, as for grammar, the English majors somehow they have a certain level of grammar rules already. So when the ChatGPT explain to them, they know, okay, this one is good or this one correct explanation or not. They need to have the rationale in their mind. And we can design some activities that preserve learner authorship or voice. So as for institutional or policymakers, these people suggest that we need to ensure equitable Gen AI access for all learners, but I think this one's not really easy to do so, of course. And the school can provide some clear guidance, distinguishing AI support from substitution. And I think that's can enough for me. Everyone can read the final slide for future research suggestions.
Oh, thank you, Tran. We'll just have a look at your final slide because we have to finish there. So your slides will be available on the team, and also there's a few messages in this chat, Tran, if you want to look at these comments and questions and answer them if you wish. But we're going to end there. The next session is in the general channel, and that's the plenary session, the closing plenary. So thank you very much for your talk, Tran, and thank you everyone. And we'll see you in the general channel for the last session. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Oh, I need to stop recording.